Hi there, and welcome to Studio Jakarta EE. Today I'm having a chat with Markus Karg. And Markus, please introduce yourself and describe a little bit about how you're involved in the Jakarta EE community.
Yeah, hi Ivar. I'm Markus, and for those who do not know me, I was in the JaxRS group at JCP, and when we started over at Jakarta, I was the one who did the first few releases and hacked the first few features, which you actually don't know yet because they're not published, but they will come really soon. So my job is not about the community forming all that. My job is really about coding. So I love coding. That's my world.
Yeah. So Jakarta EE9 will be released on November 20th. And what does this release mean for you?
Well, we must say two answers. The first answer is what does it mean for me in person? For me in person, actually not much because I was involved in all that. So I'm just glad that we made it and it's through the door and I can go on with the next release. For the community, I think it means a lot because we have renamed namespaces, you know that. So I think they will be happy that there is not more features in that. So they will have the time to do that merge, then that migration of the namespace and have time to prepare for the next release. I
Yeah.
personally am really happy that it's through the door because I really wait to go on with the next release.
Yeah, and that is kind of the key thing because you've been eager all the time to get
Yeah.
going with Jakarta Rest, and you've been kind of stopped the entire way because no, we have to do
Yeah.
this and we have to do this, and now we finally are there. We get the namespace thing out the door, and it's just go ahead. So that must
Yeah.
be wonderful news for you.
Yeah. You know it's like Christmas coming too late. I always wanted to have that. I said I want to get that thing through the door because I want to go on with my features. I have coded that. I want to publish them and I always was stopped because some formal things, organizational things. So sure, yes, I'm really happy that the release is there, but it's like Christmas 1 year too late for
Yeah,
me.
or like I want to put it, it's Christmas a month early this year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or 11 months too late.
Yeah, you can say that. Anyway, so
Yeah,
we kind of covered the most important thing about the Jakarta EE release, as you said,
yeah,
is it doesn't contain very much, but it has the namespace switch,
yeah,
and merging to that release will kind of get you past that bump, and then you can
yeah,
start developing and using new features.
yeah.
So
Actually, if you say it's not much, th- I wouldn't say it's not much because we worked on that for a full year. So actually, this is a real lot of stuff that people are getting, but nobody was actively waiting for that. So
yeah, exactly.
the impression might be, why is it only that? But we were really happy that it was not more because it wouldn't be finished now.
Yeah, and I know from also from working with it that the actual change of the APIs from the Java X to the Jakarta namespace, I mean, that's done in a couple of hours. That's
Yeah,
not too much work, but the work is with to get all the implementations actually supporting it and running and passing the tests. That's
yeah,
where the work is. Yeah.
yeah. And there was a lot of hidden things we never expected.
Yeah.
You know that you have seen all the discussions that somebody showed up with some library where we didn't have a person working on it, so we had to find new heads to work on that and just to get it through the door somehow. So for the Eclipse Foundation and especially for the Jakarta E working group, this was really a huge test. So we have proven that we can deliver actually. And in the next step, we will prove that we can deliver new features. So
Yeah.
it was really good work.
So how would you what would you say would be the best way for people to get involved in Jakarta EE, and how can they best contribute?
Yeah, I must be a bit careful with my answer because I often told people if you want to contribute to Jakarta EE, just come to my booth on a trading fair or something, or on a conference, or call me, or we do a chat or something. But the problem is people are not prepared what it means to do a specification. So if you want to work on a specification, you need to be prepared for discussions and law things, and there's a lot around the code what you need to do. So I would say the best thing to get into Jakarta EE is to start with contribution on products. So for example, if you look at JaxRS, I would say pick up something in Jersey. Start with bug fixing so you learn what Jersey is working like. And if you learned to contribute to Jersey, then it's really easy to go into the specification work. If you start specification work from zero, this is very hard. But we had people doing that, and it's pretty okay just to write on a mailing list and say hello, I want to help. That's pretty okay. But for most programmers, it's much easier to start with running code, so with an implementation. So that would be my tip. Pick one of the implementations and try to contribute there first by fixing bugs or adding features. And after that, go a step further and contribute to the specifications.
Yeah, and that is actually the way we want to do the specification work in Eclipse relation by doing the code first approach. So
Yeah,
we want things developed in the implementations and proven to work in the industry,
yeah,
and then whatever makes sense, specify it.
yeah. And the idea behind that, for those who don't know why we have these ideas, if you start with a specification from scratch, you will do it totally wrong. That's
Yeah,
it. So you need to know why you're doing things and why you want that feature in a specification
yeah,
before you really go to other vendors and ask them, hey, I have a new interface. Do you want to implement it?
yeah.
And they say, actually, we don't care so much. So
Yeah. And
yeah,
we've seen examples of that. I won't mention anything, but we have some previous versions of EJB that maybe shouldn't have
yeah,
been around. So
maybe,
maybe
maybe.
but we won't say it here.
No, never. And it's cut out anyway.
Yeah. So let's look a little bit ahead and think about the next Jakarta EE releases or upcoming. Are there any features you would like to see coming?
Yeah, sure. Sure. There are things that are already there, and I really am happy that they will be published then. And I don't think I need to mention what I mean because I waited 2 years and I told everybody. So let me look at the things I'm not contributing to. So I really look forward that we turn Jakarta EE from away from its Java EE past. I want to do a refresh of the architecture built around CDI. So what I really would like to happen is that we pick Java SE 15 or 16 and retrofit what we did on top of that, on top of CDI as the core. Because in the past, people know that we had EJB. EJB was the kernel, and everything was built around that. And I want to get rid of EJB actually. So let's use CDI on top of Java SE as the kernel and implement the APIs on top of that. That would be a great thing actually. So
Yeah,
people can do modern Java and get rid of all those old stuff we all know and we work with, but actually
yeah.
we don't want to have anymore.
And the good thing is that the discussions are already happening on the CDI mailing list
Yeah,
about looking at some lighter versions of CDI that are probably more uh, better suited for ahead of time compilation and that kind of things.
yeah.
But also make CDI the first class in Jakarta EE. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So,
So
it's always a bit problematic to say what is my wish because I'm certainly influenced from the mailing list because I participate in discussions and you adopt ideas. So
yeah.
my wish is their wish and all that. So it's problematic. You will hear the same answers everywhere, I think.
Yeah, I guess so. And And what's important also going ahead now is that we don't want the major platform releases to be so big.
Yeah,
We want the individual specifications like JaxRS you're talking about and the others to go ahead and release as often as they want,
yeah, that
and then
that's a
release
mm,
a platform specifications on a time-based cadence,
yeah,
and pick up whatever is ready
yeah.
when they have to. And do you have any opinion about the release cadence for the platform?
Yeah, actually, my personal wish would be that we could go in sync with Java SE somehow, so that we say, if there is a new Java SE version, then half a year later we have a a Jakarta EE release adopting those features. That would be really a dream, because there is a cadence of half a year on the Java SE side, and people get confused if it runs away from each other. So it would be good to step in sync there. So that's my impression about a cadence. But on the other side, if you ask me as a programmer contributing to that, that would be hell. So this is so much pressure. I think we will not be able to do that.
Yeah. So maybe something in between there.
Yeah.
Like usually cadence for Java EE has been like 2.5 years or something, and so maybe somewhere around a year or something
Yeah.
is probably what makes
Yeah.
most sense.
I think most people would love to have 1 year, but this is just a guess.
Yeah. So uh, why do you think people should get involved in the Jakarta EE community?
Hey, it depends what you mean with involved.
So, well, there are several ways of getting
Yeah,
involved. One
right.
is to participate actively on a specification like
Yeah,
you're doing,
okay.
but there
So
are
you
other
mean
ways.
active involvement,
Yeah.
contributing to, okay. Um, it's a bit unfair, but there's so much work that has to be done, right? And after all these years, we're getting a little bit tired. It's really fun to do all that, but it would be just great if there would be more people, so we can have more shoulders to lean on, to share the work among more people, and particularly unpaid people, because with the big vendors we have the problem that no one, I don't want to blame anybody, but there's a difference if you do something because you're interested in, or you do something because you were just thrown into that project for half a year, and after that you have to go away in the next project. So it's just a good thing to have more people that are here for a long time just for their own interest, and that would give stability to the projects. It's totally okay that we have paid programmers doing just their job. That's pretty okay, and we need those people and their work power. But for the long term, it's just a good idea for us to know we can have these people in future still, and they will not change, and we don't have other people all the time. So this is something I love when I say there is no new people. For the people themselves, it's a great thing to influence. Well, everybody can become an influencer if you go to an open source project and you can introduce your own ideas, your own features, or even in a specification, you can say, hey, I have an idea about an API extension. So maybe you can convince the others, and then it's an international standard. So that's a great feeling. At least for me, it was.
Yeah.
So
And so
everybody has other ideas what he can get of this community.
yeah. So if you have any pain points in your daily life as a programmer and
Yeah,
think, why doesn't this API have this
yeah,
functionality I need? Well, it's up to you because you can go
yeah,
there and define that API and then make your
yeah,
life easier.
yeah. That's a good idea to pretend.
Yeah.
And actually, then the horror will start, because there are so many other great ideas from other great programmers, and you will end up with months of discussion. But
Yeah.
this is what I love about open source, that it's so open and everybody can contribute and the best idea will win. So this is really great.
Yeah. I think that is an excellent closing note. So I thank you very much for joining me here,
Well,
and
thanks for
I
having
look
me.
forward to seeing you again. Thank you very
Yes.
much.
See you. Bye.